You know you're feeling good. Your team won when your shirt comes off and it's feeling like 1 degree out in the nation's capital.
First shirts off of the season.
But after a quiet first half, no goals between Atlético Ottawa and York United, they woke up in the second half. 2-1 the final. Andy Petrillo, Gareth Wheeler, Jordan Wilson. That was our Tony Bet match of the week to kick off a first of a triple header here. It is opening day, season 6 of the CPL. What did you make of Ottawa's comeback?
Scrappy, maybe a little bit unorthodox, but this is why you go out and sign a star player like Manny Aparicio. You know what you're going to get, reliable as they come, and came up huge in the moments that mattered the most. Moments won this game, Andy. I still think that York United, they're going to be kicking themselves that they didn't come away with anything. They had the better chances in this game. They created more. They looked most dangerous, but they made mistakes in their decision-making at critical moments, just didn't quite have enough finish and couldn't finish off Atlético Ottawa. And the more they hung around in the game, the more confidence that they had. And this was a game for me. They didn't play their best as a team, but their star players certainly stood up and took notice. Yeah, made us take notice of them for Atlético Ottawa.
For sure. First, when you're going on York United, you're just thinking this is a game where they could have won. They had 100% opportunities to go and be 2-0 up, and they missed that boat.
We're going to break those down in just a moment because we want to welcome to the show our Gatorade performer of the match, Mr. Manny Aparicio. Gets a goal and an assist in this one. Manny, maybe you could just take us through the first half, feeling things out with new teammates, and then perhaps what was said in halftime that changed things in the second half for you.
It wasn't a good halftime for us. I feel like we went in knowing it wasn't enough what we did. But yeah, we just tried to fix some little things that we saw in the field. We're still learning from each other. We're still learning what the coach wants as well. So it's just one game at a time. And honestly, just to make this place a fortress is our goal this year. So that's one of one so far.
Manny Aparicio, the main man in Ottawa. Congratulations. A goal and an assist, 2 big moments. It seemed like you and the rest of your team just willed this over the finish line. What does it mean to come away with some critical moments in order to give your team a victory in your home debut?
Yeah, like you said, we definitely had some chances against us. I think York did well to create a lot of opportunities. They weren't able to capitalize, of course. But I think those are the games that that pull you through. And when the end of the season comes around and you look at the table, these 3 points will be massive. So it was good to see the guys suffer a little bit and kind of pull their socks up and get in there. So it's just a learning curve for all of us.
Manny, congrats, first of all, for being a husband. Everyone congratulates the wife, but congrats on that, buddy, and making that plunge. Let's just talk quickly about that relationship between you and Ollie Bassett, because you guys are very similar. But I think today in the second half, there were distinct roles, or I would say fluidity between the two. Just talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we like the same style of football. We like to be on the ball. We like to create stuff. We like to be dictating the game. But it's good, when you can have more players that do that on your team, and obviously Sissoko as well, and Sapa, and all the players around us, Balu, Kev when he came on. It's all guys that want the ball. No one's shying away from it. Everyone wants it. Everyone wants the responsibility. So it's great to see. Honestly, it's easier to play with those types of guys as well.
Well, Manny, congratulations once again on getting things started with a win with your new team. And thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, guys.
Manny Aparicio, goal and an assist. That is why he is our Gatorade performer of the match. And you know what? He's also a part of the Volkswagen moment of the match, because this has to go to Christopher Twardek, who gets the winning goal here for Ottawa. Manny assists on this one. What did you make of this play?
Well, he just wanted it more. He kept it in play, and the way that he created this goal was absolutely sensational. Twardek got up and down the line all day long. But look at this. Aparicio just waited for his moment, took the ball away, and keeps it in play. This is a sublime ball to the far post. Perfect execution, and Twardek puts the ball into the back of the net. But Aparicio, he's the maestro of this, keeping the ball in play. Look at that, outside of the foot, on a tee for Twardek, and he decides to go with placement over power. Well executed.
There aren't many players in the Canadian Premier League that can do that outside of the foot cross. By the way, that Didier Drogba slide, Ouch. This is on turf, Twardek. You're that type of guy to do it. But it's It's not even the pass, Wheels, that is most impressive. It's the way that he lunges in and wins that ball. And that is Manny Aparicio. That's what he does, is when teams feel like, oh, we're going to kick the ball out, we're going to go and counterattack, he goes, he jumps, he bites the pressure, wins it, and keeps it in play for that cross.
The timing was perfect, but I just love the wherewithal to go with the outside of the foot and pick out a target. Like that ball was inch perfect to Twardock in that moment. So Aparicio, honestly, at times in that second half, I feel like he took over the game. Atlético Ottawa were looking for that player to give them a spark, and immediately, this guy's going to be a fan favorite in Ottawa. Already a verbose, a loud, passionate fan base. Now they got this guy alongside with Hollywood. We'll come up with something. We'll go down not Main Street, it's Manny Street in Ottawa.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. By the way, I did think Twardock was going to jump up. I thought we were going to see his kneecaps because I thought the skin was going to stay on the turf. York's, they strike first in this one, but let's get to Manny's goal because he's the one who ties it up in the 64th minute. And you're right, this is somebody where they needed energy. You heard him as well saying, hey, we didn't have a very good halftime because we didn't like that first half whatsoever, and they had someone who took it over, Jordan.
Yeah, they did. And look, when you look at Austin Ricci there, that first one, that little, he basically cushions it down, but this needs to be a clearance somehow, or almost even let it go. Like the fact that he just plays it back across, and if you're looking at the body posture of a lot of York players, they're kind of walking. This is the time in the box, Wheels, where you have to be active. You know what Atlético Ottawa are about. And honestly, as a former York United player, being up 1-0, this is a time where typically they go and their shoulders are down. You have to be so aware in the box. And they kind of allowed, or they absolutely did allow Atlético Ottawa to get back into this game.
It was on the second phase of a corner kick, and it just felt like everyone became static in their positions. You have two young or inexperienced center backs in this team. Who's going to take control of that situation? And there was a great ball across by Blue Tablet. Like, he forced Ricci to do something. I don't think he could have just let it go. He didn't know what was going on behind him as well. So the ball just came off him. It was more just a reaction, but still weren't enough bodies in and around the 6-yard box for York United in that moment. And Aparicio took full advantage.
What? No, you go.
I don't know.
No, it's okay.
If you're going to look at me that way, then I know it's
okay.
Be you.
Because I was like, oh, maybe let it go. But
I'll
at
jump
the end of the
in.
day, it was just there weren't enough active bodies ready for York in that moment. People are ball watching. You can't ball watch in the box.
But they hung around. York United should have been gone and clear before that goal even went in.
Yeah, so and here we're going to get a lot into York United right now, and this is probably going to end up becoming the Austin Ricci segment here. But it was Austin Ricci who struck first. He opened up the scoring here. This was in the 48th minute. Let's talk the good first with what you saw in this.
Well, it's a decent enough ball because it made Nate Ingham make a decision. This is a great hit. Good finish by Austin Ricci, who missed a wide open chance in the first half. Can Nate Ingham catch it here? I think the book on Nate is he loves a punch. Like, he'll more times than not play that ball away rather than take it in. I think he could have gone up and got it and kept it. Instead, falls right to Ricci, and that's an absolute class finish by Ricci. That's what you want to see more of if you're a York United supporter from Austin Ricci.
But that's what he has, right? That bullet, that cannon. Like, you see goals that he does score 20, 25 yards out. If he takes that prep touch, he's not one of those players that look for a pass and try to combine. If he's free, he's going to rifle it, and he does that there. With Nate Ingham, you're so right. Wheels playing with him as well. You know that he's going to punch. I thought it was an okay punch, but you got to clear your lines. You have to go further than the 18 because there are guys like Ricci that are on the box ready to punish you.
I'll always defend the goalkeeper in some sort of way. That ball was bouncing. It was doing some bouncing on the turf. I'm just saying. But yes, perhaps should have had it.
But I would say Brian Wright is a big frame. And when he comes across, I understand you want to be safe to punch. Sure. I just want to see a bigger punch. Punch that far.
I hear you. Here's the other thing, and you said it already that York will probably kick themselves after this one because if we look at some of the chances that they had, this could have easily been a 2-0 game, a 3-0 game. Maybe Ottawa would have scored some goals, but York would have had themselves a bit of a different lead than just 1-0.
You know what? I totally agree with you, Andy. It's glaring, but we could talk about expected goals all we want and all these things, but how I play and how I look at football is the 100% chances. And Max Ferrari does well here by winning the ball. So does Ricci. When they play, Max could shoot here. But that layoff is a 100% chance now, Andy Petrillo. That is one where you're saying, look, we're going to go 1-0 up. Okay, they missed this one.
It's brilliant.
Austin Ricci ends up throwing a little magic. They go 1-0 up. But here again, look, this is to go 2-0 up. And I said it to you, Wheels, off air. that this would come back to bite them.
Look at Brian. Look at
he's
Brian.
onside. The 100% goal in this situation, Andy Petrillo, it's to square the pass. It's to play that across. York go up 2-0. And the second wheels that they miss this, you know that Atlético Ottawa are going to go and creep in. And literally, 15 seconds later, Balou Tabla had a chance that maybe he should have scored.
That was the moment at 1-0. I mean, if it was a handball, we couldn't tell based on the angles that we were given, but the play continued. No VAR. It doesn't really matter. Here, someone just needs to take the ball. Two players both waiting for someone else to take on a chance, and it fell to the third player, Natakubi, and it just came too late. That was a half chance there later on, but Andy, certainly there were opportunities here for York United. I thought they played really, really well. I think that they played well in their shape. Remember, they were down basically 5 starters for this game, taking on new Atlético Ottawa, and they let one slip away. Atlético Ottawa don't come back in games. They said it on the broadcast. That's 24 now regular season wins for Carlos Gonzalez and Atlético Ottawa. That's the first time they've come from behind, having conceded first to go on and win a game. York United had them.
It's criminal that York United today don't come away with a single point. Because in football, it's hard to score, but you have 100% chances to go out and do it. And they just didn't capitalize today. And that was those split-second decisions where it's obvious what they should do, and they just didn't capitalize.
Well, here's the other thing, though. Because they didn't capitalize, Atlético Ottawa becomes the first team hosting a match on opening day to pick up a win as well. By the way, my middle name is feeling a little left out. The amount of times you said Andy Petrillo. What about my middle name? One Soccer today, Monday and Thursday, 7 p.m. ET. We take you through all the CPL highlights, all the big stories in the world of soccer. Monday, Thursday, 7 p.m. One Soccer today, right here on One Soccer. It is Atlético Ottawa with the 2-1 win over York United. We're going to hear from the commissioner of the CPL as well, Mark Noonan, heading into season 6 here. And we're going to also start to look ahead, the second of our triple header, Forge, Cavalry, opening day, Canadian Premier League, right here on One Soccer.
Power doesn't sound like it used to. The all-electric ID4 with instant acceleration. Electric feels good. Volkswagen.
How do you go from the best to the ultimate without breaking the bank? You choose the big, bold, ultimate taste of ultimate chicken sausages and hot dogs. Choose ultimate taste and value, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
I do this for my town, my time, my time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
Hey, let's go somewhere beachy. I don't like sand. What? What about Cancun sand? It's so soft. Or maybe Caribbean white sand. Sure. Ooh, Costa Rican sand. It's got dolphins.
Costa Rica, then?
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Good choice.
It was all him.
With over 50 sunny destinations to choose from, we have a flight for that.
First game in the books, Carlos Gonzalez and company. They are victorious 2-1 over York United. York opening up the scoring first in the 48th minute, but newcomer Manny Aparicio ties it, and then he gets the assist. Christopher Twardek gets the winning goal, 2-1. Excitement the rest of the way. That's what we're hoping for, because after all, it's a new year, new hope in the CPL, and Commissioner Mark Noonan had stopped by our One Soccer studio to talk about Season 6. Pleased to have in our One Soccer studios the commissioner of the Canadian Premier League, Mark Noonan. So great to see you again.
Great to be back. I can't believe we're on the verge of season 6.
And that's why I love this time of year, because I know when we have you in studio, it means the start of another season. This is season 6 of CPL. Everyone always loves to know the state of the league every time it starts up a new year. What can you tell us about season 6?
You know, I would say it's, since I've started, the most stable it's been. It's poised for growth on and off the field. And I think that fans should be really excited about, coming off of a historic season 5 with an incredible final, and we're just building on that momentum heading into season 6.
I'm just going to ask the question right out of the gate instead of burying the lead, because everyone always wants to know, especially in a new league and people who love soccer in this country and they want to see it grow. It's expansion. And I know that at that championship game between Forge and Cavalry, you had talked about 16 NDAs also being signed. Where are we with that and the possibility of more teams?
We are in active conversations. Nothing has changed since then that we are ready to announce. And here's the challenge in Canada is facilities. We have a huge facility issue. If we wanted to play in a 1,500-seat stadium that's got stitched in Canadian Football League lines in, and lower our standard of professionalism, we could expand right now. But we need to be smart and only expand when we have the conditions to be successful. I've said this many times. You need the right facility. You need the right ownership group. You need a community that really wants you. You need corporate support. And when you have that, we'll expand. And I have no doubt that we're going to have plenty of opportunities over the next several years to expand. But until we have that puzzle put together, we're not going to rush it or hurry it or do something that would lower the professional standards that you've become accustomed to within this league.
We know Halifax as well, speaking of venues, have submitted to have a new stadium for themselves. Is that the biggest challenge when you have to work with local government to be able to get even the funding for something like that?
It is a challenge, no doubt about it. And Halifax specifically has done a great job proving the concept, right? And one of the things I hope the people of Halifax, as well as the government of Halifax, realizes that Halifax is now a destination for soccer fans in Canada as well as outside of Canada. I travel down to the U.S. a lot, and people are like, we got to get to a game in Halifax. We got to go to a game in Halifax. Media networks in the U.S. that cover soccer are, in love with Halifax's jersey and the whole thing. And that's a huge benefit from a tourism and from an awareness standpoint. And so the Wanderers has done an amazing job creating a destination for soccer fans. You saw the women's national team game against Brazil, sold out in 20 minutes. And the community and the municipality has to realize the value that's been created, and we need to get that stadium built.
Other than those roster changes that you did make, this is the first time where I really feel like you're going into the season, you have the same teams, the same playoff format. Do you feel like this is the first season of stability, perhaps, for CPL?
Yeah, I mean, we're growing up. I mean, we made it through a pandemic. We made it through some challenges that every league goes through. And now we have a really stable foundation which to build from, and that's exciting. And I can't thank the supporters out there enough who have stuck with us and are continuing to come in record numbers last year to support this Canadian league. When you have 75% of your minutes going to Canadian players, giving young Canadian players chances that they'd never have. Players like Joel Waterman who come through a youth sports draft through Calgary. I couldn't believe how amazing it was to see him playing in Dallas in the incredible Copa America play-in game and starting at center back for the national team. That doesn't happen without CPL. So in 5 years, we made a lot of progress, and the next 5 are going to be the best yet.
One Nation, you ready?
You back? We back?
Trills and Wills. We're back. Beginning April 16th, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. ET. I'm talking about me, Andy Petrillo. If you don't know my name, Jordan Wilson said it about 3-4 times in full in the other segment. Know. Yeah, Jordan Wilson.
Trills and Wills.
Trills and Wills.
The thrills.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I like it, Wheeler.
I do like it. We'll talk about everything as well in the world of CPL. Get some interviews in there. Maybe we'll have you as a guest, Wheels. I don't know.
Keep going if you want.
I was waiting for more. Waiting for more. You know what? You know what gave us thrills was the first match of the triple header today. Atlético Ottawa 2-1. They beat York United.
To play. It's something that's in us from the very beginning, and something we take with us on every step of the journey. When we have no words, it gives us a way to speak. When we are still finding our way in the world, it gives us somewhere to belong. And no matter who we are or where we come from, it gives us the right to dream.
Christine Sinclair as she scores at her 5th World Cup. Alfonso Davies!
It's time to celebrate the game we love. It's time to play.
Degree 72-hour nonstop protection. Antiperspirant with motion sense. Tested to the limit. Degree keeps working when others stop.
Full-time stats between Atlético Ottawa and York United. So shots on target equal at 5. York, though, they had a lot of chances. 14 shots to Atlético Ottawa's 10, but 2 found the back of the net for the home side as they pick up the first victory, the first game of the opening day of Season 6 of the CPL. I've been saying that all day long. Yes, welcome to Season 6. Andy, Wheels, and Jordan with you. Atlético Ottawa, the big talk, of course, was the offseason, the most splashiest of offseason. Big-name signings. Manny Aparicio, big-name player that came on over. He gets a goal and an assist. That's why he was our performer of the match. But how much of a relief is it if you're Atlético Ottawa? Yes, I know it's just game 1. But to get that win, knowing that so many people are judging you based on your offseason.
I think there's an element of that. I think that Atlético Ottawa put pressure on themselves. This is game number 1 of the season. It's an absolute marathon. And it's going to take time for it to all come together because they're not only bringing in very good players, which make them exciting, but this team is changing in completely the way that they play. Like, this was unlike anything that we've seen from Atlético Ottawa in their young history. The onus is now on this team to play possession-based attacking football. And we saw moments of it where it can be really intriguing. I still think that you want to put players in the positions that they play best, i.e. Ollie Bassett as being one of, if not the best player of the Canadian Premier League.
Is that the one that bugged you the most today?
Well, it's just weird because with him and Aparicio and even Sissoko in the mix, who plays where? And they shifted Bassett out to the right. He's best playing in between the lines. He's best right in the middle of the park, dropping deep when he needs to, filling in, playing in the pocket at times. So I think that that's going to take time. But this was a team, we call them a lot of different things, but they were very defensive in their shape and formation. This is anything but. They don't have stay-at-home fullbacks. These are fullbacks that bomb. Twardek with the match winner and Debrienne on the left-hand side. What does that mean for Zapateur? It's going to be a big task for him. Seeing if he has enough legs to cover up those spaces, because at times York United were clearing through on the counterattack. So they are the it team, not only because of those signings, just in terms of attention, but how is this all going to play out? I think there's still questions there, and that's why today's win is such a big lift and a big bonus.
Yeah, Wheels and I watch a lot of football together, and I cannot even count 2 times.
Well, where's my invite? I'm just saying.
Well, it was more Saturdays than Atlético Ottawa's, but that's what I was talking about. And you never really see Atlético Ottawa be a team that gets countered. Like they always have 10 players behind the ball. I am not asking Manny Aparicio, Ollie Bassett, Balou Tabla, all these players, Sissoko, to sit behind and park the bus. Yeah. They cannot play, and I'll say it, Wheels got a little heck for a stick, mundane football. They cannot do that. They cannot be pragmatic. They have players on their side now to go in and go and attack. So that's flipping everything that is kind of principled, and even the Atlético way is to go and be defensive and structured. But they have players that really thrive on having the ball and possessing it and going forward. So it's going to take some time. I think also, too, that number 9 position, Salter scored a handful of goals last season. Del Campo is a decent striker as well. But they're going to need someone as a threat because all these players, the Aparicio, Oli Bass, they're looking to find someone. They're not players that are going to go and try to beat someone. They're looking for service into the box. So they're going to need someone dangerous scoring goals.
I'm not sure that this is a formation that they're going to end up playing. Like, even Atlético Madrid, their parent club, plays more attacking football now, but they still drop that player in between the 2 center backs. And they kind of play almost like another Griezmann in behind a Morata. Like, how is that going to work? Is that going to be Tabla? Yeah. Like, where does Bassett fit in? Where does Aparicio fit in? It's going to take time. This is great news for the Canadian Premier League. For a team like this, statement signings, playing attacking football, good stuff.
Of course, and this is just game 1, and you're right, they're going to have to figure some things out, because if they had played a different team, you wonder if those chances would have been buried by York United. But just quickly, concern already about the health of
it's huge. We said Sterling, I've said it, that he needs to play 25 games. Already missed game 1. Leon and Sterling are that pair, and you play 2 young guys. You have Higgins, and you had Batney today playing together. So it's just like they got to keep themselves healthy.
The structure was good.
Yeah, structure was good, just unable to finish, and you're right, it's all about health as well for York United. But we are now going to turn the page and make our way to game 2. Ooh, it's Fuego in Hamilton. I love this type of rivalry. Forge Cavalry coming up next.
We created Carlsberg 0-0 because even the best things can be better with alcohol-free beer. Clean one-handed backhand is better. Balancing stuff is better. Whatever this is better. We created Carlsberg. Skipping your own ad is better. Parking in space, better. So, can the best alcohol-free beer make good things better? Probably.
Would you like the extended warranty for $150?
Go ad-free for $29.99.
Only 3 easy payments of $49.99 if you act now.
We make thousands of financial decisions every day. Each one affects bigger decisions tomorrow. Stay on top of it all with the CIBC Smart Account.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
Degree, 72-hour non-stop protection. Antiperspirant with motion sense. Tested to the limit. Degree, keeps working when others stop.
History will be written either